It is Monday, January 14, the beginning of a new week. Here's what's making the news today. In our first report, Felicia Valenzuela tells us that communities in Guyana's hinterland are set to benefit from reliable and efficient electricity supply stemming from the installation of a 5.2 megawatt grid-connected solar PV system. The project is expected to provide 120 direct and indirect jobs throughout its life cycle.
The system will be funded through a recently approved low-cost loan of US $8 million, 1.6 billion Guyana dollars from the Abu Dhabi Fund for Development and the International Renewable Energy Agency. Guyana has been named as one of the countries selected. The other countries named are Liberia and Togo. The funding will ensure the provision of energy access and advance sustainable development for selected hinterland communities. This country's Minister of Public Infrastructure, David Patterson, whose ministry the project falls under, attended the sixth cycle of the Irene ADFD project facility in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, over the weekend. The installation of the 5.2 megawatt grid-connected solar PV system will in turn reduce fossil fuel consumption and increase the reliability of electricity supply. An estimated 34,700 people in the targeted areas will benefit, and around 120 direct and indirect jobs are set to be created throughout the project lifestyle. The projects selected this year will contribute towards meeting national energy access targets and will transform lives for the better, says IRENA Director General Aidan Z. Amin. Since the first cycle selection of projects in 2014, ADFD funding has been allocated to 24 renewable energy projects across the world, covering up to 50% of the total project cost. Funding is available for sustainable development projects that are backed by a government guarantee. Reporting for InfoHub, Felicia Valenzuela.
Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu said in a diverse society such as Guyana, respect for cultural and other differences is important to creating the better life. More in this report.
The better life remains the goal of our country. And the better life can only be promoted if we respect our diversity, if we respect who we are. Our cultural differences are no barriers for the development of social cohesion. Our differences are our beauty.
Prime Minister Nagamutu was speaking at a simple ceremony to celebrate the 166th anniversary of the coming of Chinese indentured immigrants to Guyana at the Windsor Forest Primary School, West Coast, Demerara. He said Guyana's relationship with China is one that has been based on brotherhood, sisterhood, and compassion. The Prime Minister noted that China has always respected Guyana's sovereignty and right to develop its own democracy.
Our relationship with the People's Republic of China has been one of the most outstanding features of Guyana's foreign policy.
Meanwhile, Ambassador to the People's Republic of China, Chu Jianchun, said unity is a driving force for the nation's growth, development, and progress.
Social cohesion, unity is really important for us to transform Guyanese university economy and empower the people to build the sustainable community for the better life.
The Chinese ambassador remarked that Guyana and China have broader prospects for exchange and cooperation. He noted there is potential for development by the two countries in various sectors. Also, in commemoration of the 166th anniversary of the arrival of Chinese indentured immigrants to Guyana, the Chinese Association donated supplies to the Windsor Forest Primary School. For InfoHub, Anar Khan.
The Rukumutu and Tipero villages in the Karasabay Sub-District, Region 9, received all-terrain vehicles to aid the daily operations of the village councils. Seneca Thorne has that story.
The ATVs, one each, were handed over by Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, Sidney Allicock, during an outreach on Friday last to the two communities. The minister stressed the importance of proper maintenance of the community assets and the need to ensure all residents benefit from their use.
I would like to hand over to you this ATV to assist you in the development of your community. And I do hope that this will strengthen your relationship between all the members of the community so that the purpose of this vehicle will be well served to each and every one of your villages and even outsiders, other villages. So I want to thank you very much for accepting this.
Rokomoso and Tipiru are remote communities located in the South Pacaraima Mountains. These communities are accessed by rocky trails, hence the ATVs are best suited for the 2,000 councillors to travel to Carasabai during emergency cases to conduct business and attend meetings and workshops. InfoHub spoke to the 2,000 who expressed gratitude to the government for the vehicle.
I'm very, very proud about this, what the government has given to us, and I think that the villagers of my community will be able to work with me and together with the council. And I'm glad that the minister is here.
I think I'll try my best to maintain it, work with my villagers. I try my best to use it. Well, it will be useful for me. It will be more faster to go down to Carasabai to meet my DDU, my CDU during emergency calls and so forth.
Last month, the communities of Arnaputa, St. Ignatius and Sabariwao, also in Region 9, received tractors and trailers each to boost the community agriculture initiatives. Under the ministry's 2019 capital program, the sum of $64.7 million was allocated in the national budget to purchase boats and engines, ATVs, buses, tractors and trailers, and off-road vehicles for hinterland communities. Seneca Thorne, InfoHub.
Minister of Communities Ronald Bulkan today urged departmental heads of his ministry to not be sidetracked as the coalition government is functioning in accordance with the Constitution. Details from Ayana George.
Meeting with his team after just 2 weeks into the new year, Minister Bulkan sought to put all assumptions to rest as he made it clear that the government is legitimately in office and work continues. He was speaking at the second annual Ministry of Communities Senior Staff Conference at the Impeccable Banquet Hall on Brick Dam.
I, in the capacity that I'm currently acting, I'm not acting unlawfully. Neither is the President, nor are we tyrants.
Minister Bulkan reiterated that there is nothing illegitimate or unlawful about the administration. He called on the senior officials to not be sidetracked by what is happening, but instead be focused on their professional responsibilities and duties. The 2019 national budget was passed and $8.3 billion has been allocated to the ministry. $124 million will be used to expedite recommendations from the Local Government Commission. Subventions for the municipalities total $210 million, which includes $30 million for Georgetown, $18 million for each of the 4 new townships and the 5 neighborhood democratic councils, which will each receive $5 million. This will ensure citizens received improved services. Reporting for InfoHub, Ayana George.
Still to come, Public Telecommunications Ministry on a mission to transform Guyana into the digital age, one region at a time. And remote villages in Region 8 benefit from medical outreach. Stay with us.
Exercise gives you more than just a great body. Some benefits you can't see, but you can feel. Cardio increases your heart rate and improves circulation. 60 minutes is good for heart health and 30 minutes for overall health. It helps boost your immune system, eases your mind, and rejuvenates your body. Now let's talk muscle. The more muscle mass you have, the more fat your body burns while resting. A pound of muscle burns 3 times more calories than a pound of fat. So having more muscle means you can consume more calories. Exercise can improve the look of your skin, boosts your self-confidence, and helps you sleep better so you can wake up and do it all over again. 30 consecutive minutes per day, 5 days a week. Start now. Eat well, keep moving. A message from the Chronic Disease Unit of the Ministry of Public Health.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Public Telecommunications is on a mission to transform Guyana into the digital age by ensuring every region has access to information and communication technology. More in this Anara Khan report.
Minister of Public Telecommunications Catherine Hughes on Monday reiterated that one of the ministry's main goals is to educate and train citizens across the country in the use of information and communications technology.
Our goal is to reach into every single region, not only to bring the internet network to their homes and schools, but also to train residents up close and personal, you could say, in the computer age, and in using the internet to improve their daily lives, whether it be for business or for pleasure. Our overall goal is to transform Guyana into a fully digital nation.
The minister said the tremendous response to ICT camps last year came as no surprise. Information and Communications Technology Ministerial Advisor Lance Hines remarked that an ICT workforce has to be built from a national level.
And that was the reason why we began to have these kinds of programs, why we had hackathons, why we had the camps, and that's how we started the training. Because one of the things in discussions with our colleagues from UT is to make sure you find the gems, make sure you find the talent, because we got to identify them and begin to think about how we take them to the next step. So if we find these 9-year-old geniuses and things that we got to find them, we got to harness that they can't go to waste. We can't have a situation where because of lack of resources, lack of teachers, lack of ideas, we got to find a way to get them out of there and help them take that next step.
Hines disclosed that under Code Camp 2019, training will be taken to the hinterland region. For InfoHub, Anara Khan.
Residents of Waipa and Carisparu in the Pataru-Sipuruni region over the weekend benefited from a medical outreach organized by the Ministry of Public Health. Delicia Haynes was in the region with the team and filed this report.
Specialists in both teams included dentists, ophthalmologists and dermatologists along with general medical practitioners. The outreaches were organized after the public health officials got word that residents were in need of these services. Speaking on behalf of the village of Waipa, Tushao Norbert Adams explained it had been some time since a medical team visited the village. He pointed out that the outreach comes at a time when the community health worker alone is unable to capture, diagnose and treat illnesses that may present itself in the area.
We was expecting a very good treatment from the doctors, nurses and whoever it is, because that we haven't seen any doctor or trained nurses or medics or dentists for years ago. And then we need a proper medical care receiving from the team.
These outreaches are in keeping with the ministry's mandate of making medical services accessible throughout the country. The ministry is also seeking to place specialists in the region for longer periods. This would mean that residents would routinely and more readily have access to primary health care as well as specialized services.
The mandate of Ministry of Public Health is to ensure that different levels of health care is being administered to persons in various communities. And persons need to enjoy not only primary health care, meaning to say that health care being done at a health post, but also you can experience secondary health care, and that is health care that you would receive from a regional hospital.
Director of Regional and Clinical Services, Dr. K. Sheko. She said there will be follow-up outreaches during the year to capture new cases as well as to review those patients who have been seen during this visit. Outreaches are slated for Oriala and Camarang also. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
A new school building will be constructed in the Sandhills Community Region 3 by the First Bauxite Corporation, parent company of the Bonacika mining project located in the same region. Felicia Valenzuela tells us more.
According to head of First Bauxite Corporation Guyana office Ian Christie, the initiative is part of the company's capital project.
During this year, as part of our capital project, we will be doing 3 things here for the school and the local community. The first thing we're looking at is a new school building, as you can see out here in this available space, which will cost over $400,000 US.
Christie says scholarships will be offered to students making the transition from primary to secondary to university. First Bauxite Corporation will also be providing potable water for the community. Christie says the company remains committed to the development of Sandhills as a social responsibility as it develops its own mining project in the area. Also being provided to the community in a matter of months is electricity. First Bauxite Corporation has already installed solar panels at the Sandhills Primary School.
We're supporting them in many ways. We installed a brand new solar electricity system about 12 months ago, and so for the first time ever the school had electricity to run their computers and other facilities. We've also installed water pumps for them, and we've done some work on the sewage system here as well.
Reporting for InfoHub, Felicia Valenzuela.
Minister of Social Cohesion Dr. George Norton is calling for more involvement from private sector enterprises in the 2019 Mashramani celebration being held under the theme Celebrate MASH 49 with Victory in Mind. Neola Damon has our final report.
We're trying to move away from a float parade where one ministry after the other ministry after the other ministry is coming down the road, and we want to see more corporate involvement in our MASH parade.
Minister Norton said his ministry has been remodeling many of the activities hosted as part of Mashramani, hence the need for more private sector participation. MASH coordinator Andrew Tyndall says while participation and involvement by the private sector has not decreased, more is desired.
Our desire is not to just see a number of government agencies coming on the road MASH Day. MASH is for all Guyanese. The private sector benefits immensely from the festival, and we'd like to see them involved in the costume and float parade as well.
Tyndall announced that there will be a slight change to the MASH route, which starts from Carifesta Avenue, then to the Kitty Roundabout along Visingen Road to the Durban Park. Over the next 6 weeks, 39 activities will be hosted to promote the colorful event, including pop-up activities with a budget of $100 million. Neola Damon, InfoHub.
That's all for this evening. Connect with us on WhatsApp, like and subscribe to our Facebook page for notifications. You can also follow us on Instagram for updates and visit our website at dpi.gov.gy. Your bridge and weather reports are up next.